most of you might already know that high meat consumption is responsible for deforestation and the release of greenhouse gases. But did you know that if all Singaporeans skipped one meal of chicken weekly, the amount of carbon emissions reduced would be equal to taking away 8,000 cars off our roads? Good morning, judges, mentors, and fellow participants. We are Project Minimize. So before we start, meet Joe. Joe is your typical Singaporean working adult. He is 45 years old, a father of 2 children, and has a stable office job. But Joe has one problem. He is aware of the negative environmental impacts of high meat consumption, such as what we mentioned in our first slide. But he just likes it too much to give it up. And the thing is, Joe is not alone. In a quick survey of 60 respondents, results show that 3/4 of adults try reducing their meat consumption less than once a week. But at the same time, there are many others like Joe who are inclined to reduce their meat consumption but are just unsure of how to do so. And this is where Project Minimize comes in. We have a 3-part solution to this issue. Instagram to expand our outreach, a website with curated educational content, and a Telegram tracker to build sustainable habits amongst interested individuals. To start off, we will post regularly on our Instagram page to gain followers and increase engagement, so as to educate more people and create a greater impact. Secondly, we have a website with comprehensive resources, from restaurant recommendations to debunking myths about going meatless. This is because we believe that education is key before any action can take place. And finally, to help people build sustainable habits that actually stick, we have our Telegram habit tracker. Here is a video taking you through how it works.
Welcome to our Telegram tracker bot. Upon entering, the bot asks for your awareness level of the effects of high meat consumption, then directs you to resources to address the obstacle you face when reducing your consumption. To personalize your experience, you can set your own goals and decide the frequency and pace at which you aim to go meatless.
The next step.
This journey is bound to have ups and downs, and our bot is here to accompany you through it all. If you reach your goal, you receive affirmation. Even if you're not so successful, you still receive encouragement to continue striving for the goal. At the end of the month, you'll receive a review, and you can try it all over again with new goals.
However, we realized that Telegram may not be the best channel for our solution. Due to the feedback that we obtained from the public on the YAC website, as mentioned in the slide above, and from the low response rate from our shortlisted pilot testing participants. Thus, we believe that a translation of this tracker into an app will improve its effectiveness, as others may be more inclined to download an app targeted at improving an aspect of their life with a more interactive interface, rather than a bot just through another social networking app. Next, here are the unique operations of our project serving as our competitive advantage. Unlike other more advocacy-based organizations, our project helps to convert talk to action by encouraging sustainable habit building through our habit tracker. We have also researched and tried out some of the meat-free recipes featured on our website, catering to both the Asian palate and all age groups, with the intention of making going meat-free a fun experience for the whole household. Here is our implementation timeline for 2022. By June, we aim to engage an app developer and complete the app for pilot testing before reviewing the pilot feedback to finalize on our app. Thereafter, we will launch it officially and publicize through social media and gather feedback from the public, which will be reviewed by December. We will measure the success of our project through these targets that we have set for ourselves, namely more than 500 users on our habit tracker, both on Telegram and on our app, more than 200 monthly visits to our website, more than 1,200 active followers on our Instagram page, and to be able to work with 2 or more like-minded organizations to carry out impactful initiatives. Here are our funding asks and how we intend to utilize the grant should we receive it. Well, remember Joe from 5 minutes ago? In a year's time, we will be delighted to know that we have helped him be in charge of his life, reducing his meat consumption as he wanted to. This has been Project Minimize. What are you waiting for? Join us on this journey to minimize our meat and maximize our days as humans and as a collective humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Project Minimize. Let's invite the rest of the team up on the stage. Good job. Okay, we will have a 5 minutes Q&A. Judges, take it away. Any questions?
Oh, hello. Okay. First of all, congratulations. I loved your presentation. It's so fun. I love Joe. I love how you really, made all of us feel like Joe. So congrats. It's a really, really good presentation. And I think you've also thought of a lot of things. Well, I'm from UNDP, so I was also happy to see the SDGs over there and the 11 and 12, very important. I love your concept. I love your idea. And I don't know if it's a question, but I just want to leave you with the thought that a lot of this behavior, at least in my experience, is group behavior, right? So while you build the app, and because there are 1,000 other apps, right, you have to really think about what is your USP. If you have something in mind, do share it, because I have 25 apps on my phone, and I probably use 5 every day. I don't use them all, right? So if you are thinking of building an app, which is a huge cost and time and effort, what is going to be your USP? And if you can bring in some sort of a way for people to also set group goals or targets, and some things like this are always easier when you're doing it with others or your friends or your community. So if you do have some clarity on your USP for the app, I would love to hear that. But otherwise, it's just a thought.
I feel like we can learn from some of the apps that we ourselves use as students. For instance, I believe many of us use the app for us to make sure that we study together, and also so that we can see how many hours our friends have studied, which might sometimes encourage us to study more as well. So I think we can include this in our app and make sure that users can share what meals they have eaten in like a week and whether they have met their goal or not. And furthermore, another app that we can learn from can be Duolingo, because I believe that they have notifications that urge their users to continue learning new languages and to continue using the app to take their lessons. Yeah. Thank you.
Furthermore, so our our project consists of both the app and the website. And I think we mentioned before that on the app's website, we have a list of catered recipes that are catered to the Asian palate and to different cuisines as well. So because our target audience is working adults, so if they have families, we are hoping to make a greater impact by encouraging these families to all try reducing their meat consumption for a day in a week together. And we have different recipes for them to try out if they have different tastes.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing. I think just wanted to add on to Mala's question as well. I think your app is great because it helps drive habits, right? And that's a long-term kind of change. So I think the constant reminders and being very encouraging is something very useful. So that's one. Just on the note of then sustainability, because you're asking for a budget for app development, but if you want to keep this going on, right? You need maybe money funding for app maintenance, right? And all those costs. How are you going to find the funding? Because I don't think, one-off kind of budgets would last for sustainable, for a long-term app. And the second one is just a quick point, something to suggest for your consideration. Because when we talk about how can we reduce our carbon footprint when it comes to eating, yes, going meat-free or going a bit more vegetarian is one. But as you know, Singapore imports a lot of food. So the other way is really to look at the transport costs of food. So you might, be eating avocado toast every day, but your avocado comes from America, right? So, you get it here by freight. So that's the other way. Maybe the next step, part 2 for your app is to think about how can we eat local, and not just meat-free. Thanks. So the first question is on the budget and how do you keep on your app and web maintenance?
I think we will research about other grants if we need, but I think for the time being, we're just looking to develop our app, and if need be, we will also try to maintain our apps by ourselves. Yeah.
Okay, we will take one last question.
So anyway, I absolutely great presentation, by the way. I loved it how you put it together. Same thing with the human story, Joe. I have one question. You talked about pilot, right, and pilot users. How's the experience like, and who do you try this out with?
Basically, for our pilot testing, what we did was we opened up our app to a bunch of people that we know, and then based on the people who have used the app, we selected people that are part of our target audience. So people who are working adults. So we emailed them and reached out to them separately, asking if they would be willing to take part in our pilot testing and give us feedback based on what they'd like to see more on the app and how we can improve. Yeah. So the pilot testing experience is basically them using the app for 21 days because from research it shows that it takes around 21 days to make a habit. Yeah.